from Columbia in high definition. This is WIS News 10 Awareness.
Good morning and thank you for joining us for Awareness. I'm your host, Megan Norman. We continue to celebrate 45 years of awareness. Started in January of 1970. The show was meant to spur conversation and heighten awareness of everyday issues while setting a positive tone of achievement within the Black community and beyond. The show was created with the help of Isaac Washington. He was an assistant program director here at WIS and believed to be the first African-American employee. But he started his career as a television cameraman and helped launch awareness.
In 1968, WIS sent me out to ascertain the public awareness for licensing renewal. And when I went out and talked to people, and everybody said, we like WIS, but WIS does not have information and positive news and positive information. And if you could probably get more positive information on the Black community, we would definitely make WIS our home. So I came back and I expressed that particular view. We got together, and that's the way we kind of formed it. But WIS, first of all, at that particular time, did not have any Black employees. So
You were the only one.
I was the only one. And then so I suggested that we, they said, well, we need some people trained, and we don't have anybody in directing and lighting. I said, I tell you what, let's go to Benedict. And we went to Benedict, and we went to South Carolina State and Claflin and got some students and went and started an on-the-job training program. So we trained students in photography. We trained students how to run the cameras and how to direct and do lighting. And all of these students were the ones that kind of came together, and we started an awareness program.
All Black cast and crew.
All Black cast and crew. We didn't have any on-air cast, so we went out and got J.P. Neal Jr. J.P. was a very energetic, hard-working, dealing with housing and dealing with community activities, so he was a natural. So we went out and got him to add with the Mitch Ellaby's of the camera crews, and James Schuler and E. Troy Middleton, Warren Grant. We had
many notables.
So many notables, and all of these people went out and got jobs at different stations. So we had quite a staff.
But let's go back to you, Mr. Washington,
Okay.
because you brought quite a bit of history with you and activism with you to this program and to this job. So give us a little bit of your background.
Well, 2 years prior to coming to WIS, I was in college, and I was demonstrating for equality. I was on the sit-ins. I marched around the State House, picketed in Columbia. We were arrested sitting in at Crest and at Woodworth. We got arrested at the State House. And I was from Allen Benedict Court, a housing project. Man, we had plenty of kids. Nobody had any kind of expertise, had any kind of knowledge in television. In fact, when I came to WIS, that was the first time I had been in a television station. And so when I said, if I ever get a job, what I'm going to do is, bring some more people in. And
that's what you did.
And that's exactly what we wanted to do. We started an on-the-job training program, and it just kind of culminated into what it is now.
Well, and let's talk a little bit more about the show itself. And I know JP was the first host for 25 years.
Right.
What was your role in terms of helping to produce the show and find the guests and the topics?
Basically, I was the executive producer of the show. And, I went out and I made contact. We had a lot of involvement in the community. At this particular time, we had people running for office, and I can always remember one in particular, James Clyburn. We had him on the show many times. People knew him right in this Columbia area, but they didn't know him outside of this particular area. So we utilized WIS and the awareness program to really, really push Jim Clyburn. Also, our first elected officials, I.S. Lever Johnson, Jim Felder, and Feeling, and we had them on and let them, talk about what they wanted to do and how they wanted to do it in this particular community. And awareness played a real important role in these two getting elected. So, man, we had multifaceted things going on. We had the voters registration going on. We had Ambassador Deborah. We had people from Ghana. We had people from local voters registration and voter education.
Wide-ranging but very relevant topics for everyone. And even though that part of the mission was to promote positive Black news in the community, do you think the show still had a wide reach in terms of audience, that it wasn't just for African Americans? No, it had a wide reach, and people would just kind of look at awareness to get the information, the daily information, not only Black, white, and everybody, and not only learn about the political aspect, and when people came to town, we could kind of bring them in and kind of reintroduce everybody. Sure. We had James Brown and Hank Aaron, and we had Roy Wilkins. Everybody that came to town in the minority community was on the show. Well, I found a picture of you and Don Cornelius and J.P. Neal. Tell me about that encounter.
That's right. Don Cornelius came to town. He heard about our show, and he came to town. He said, man, I'm trying to get a show started, Soul Train, and man, I heard about, you at WIS, and man, could you kind of sit down with us and kind of tell us how you got it going, how you utilize the talent? We don't have a lot of people. And
he wanted to know how you got your show going.
Got my show going, yeah. Got the awareness show going, and we went into a session with him, and we told him how we trained our people. We had the on-the-job training program. We got real excited, and he was excited. He went away rejuvenated, and so and
started Soul Train.
Some people may very different from that, but I tell you, I think we had a very important role we played in the formulation of Soul Train, because they did get the information from us, and they wanted to know about lighting, and they wanted to know about some of the other aspects of things that we were doing. So,
well, and because during that time there really weren't that many African American centric shows, let alone hosts or cast and crew members that were African American.
Absolutely. Like I said, I don't think WIS had any minorities working that were on air at that particular time. A little later, they got Jocelyn Tucker and got a few more.
Are you surprised to know that it's been on the air for 45 years?
Very surprised. I'm very surprised. I would not think in a million years that awareness would be still going strong, doing well, because I knew we had a lot of obstacles, but we kind of overcame all these things, and so I'm just so proud that to see all the other on-air personality and all the other people behind the scene. People really don't know how many people it takes to run a television station.
It takes a village.
It takes a village, and WIS got minorities in this village, and I'm just so happy and proud.
Well, finally, where do you want to see awareness go in the future?
Well, I want awareness to continue to be that catalyst that bridges the gap between races. And I'm just looking forward to bigger and better things from WIS and awareness program.
Well, Mr. Washington, thank you so much for being here and for helping to pave the way.
Thank you.
As we continue to look back on the history of awareness, Columbia's first Black Cultural Arts Festival.
Eric and myself got together and decided to festival. We decided that would introduce the people to the art and all the other facets of culture that we have here.
Alex English, the outstanding former Gamecock basketball player and NBA Hall of Famer, is with me in studio to talk about his role in helping to bring an artistic flair to Columbia on Awareness. Awareness was multifaceted. The show had top policymakers, entertainers, and activists. Arts and culture was an important part. During the 70s, there was a cultural arts festival in Columbia. It was organized by several people, including Alex English. And this is how you probably remember Alex, as the all-time leading scorer for the Gamecocks during his time on the Carolina hardwood from 71 to 76. He went on to lead the NBA in scoring during the 80s. But what you may not know is Alex's love for the arts. He joins me now. Thank you for being with me this morning.
It's my pleasure.
So do you remember this festival in Columbia?
I remember parts of it. I can remember what, the reason why we put it together was because, we wanted to bring the communities together, the African American communities with the whites, and we wanted to do it through the arts. Right. So I, myself, and Roland Haynes, we put together a group of our friends who were artists, and we decided to do this arts festival.
Well, I want to play you a clip right now to take you back down memory lane a little bit.
Okay.
At the Columbia First Cultural Arts Festival, there are 4 exciting, young, black, and talented people: Sonika Ennis, Eric Moore, Roland Haynes Jr., and Alexander English. Of course, there are others who put it all together. Alex, tell us about the idea and how did you first conceive the thought and what went into the working to get it all done?
Well, we started off with an art show in front of my house, and it rained on us. And since that didn't go over, we thought that we'd try and get something else that would give us more exposure. So Eric and myself got together and decided to festival. We decided that would introduce the people to the art and all the other facets of culture that we have here. And so we got together and we started bringing in friends of our own, like Roland here, who's with Axis Bold is Love, and Sonika Ennis. And we all got together and we got all these other people together. And it's about 50 to 75 of us that really did it.
And you call yourselves by a new title. What is it?
The New Black Leaders.
So you call yourself then the New Black Leaders. What was that all about?
Well, we wanted to put Columbia on the map. We thought we had a lot of talent here, and we wanted to put Columbia on the map with the Cultural Arts Festival. Mm-hmm. And that was the beginning. And that T-shirt that I had on,
right.
We all got together and we all made the T-shirts. Everybody put their own creative talents into making those T-shirts. Mm-hmm. And each one of those people, they participated. Eric Moore was an artist. Roland Haynes, as you know, was a saxophonist, had his own group. Sonika Ennis was a dancer. And there were a lot of other people that were involved, friends of mine, mm-hmm. that were artists as well. And they each brought their own special talent right. to that festival.
And so I know we have some video of the festival. We have singers, as we see. There were some poets. What else was included, if you remember?
Well, you see Drink Smalls, one of the great Columbia legends. All of these people participated because they wanted to do what we wanted to do, right. bring the arts to Columbia. And we had people that were artists, like Eric Moore was an artist. Larry Levy, who was a very famous artist today. He had his art there, Drink Smalls, just a lot of different people, mm-hmm. a lot of dancers.
Right. And a lot of people who were there at the time, you're telling me they continued with their passion in the
yes.
arts. We know you went on and you continued to play basketball, but you
right.
stayed connected to the arts. Why was that so important for you?
Well, it was, I love my hometown, and I always felt that we needed to bring the African Americans and the white community together right. because we were so divided back then, and we continued to do it. We started the Let's Share African American Arts Festival, and I'm going to hold this shirt up. This is one of the shirts that one of the early shirts, and it was a shirt that it was a precursor. The
the shirt that we had that we painted ourselves was a precursor to this shirt. And every year we did this shirt and we gave it out. And the back of it had, you know, something about bringing people together.
Right.
And it was important to all of us.
Right. And that's certainly, I'm sure, still a mission with the arts festivals and different cultural events that happen to this day in Columbia.
Yeah, well, you know, just seeing some of the people that are doing art, doing cultural festivals like the Auntie Karen Foundation. Right. Karen Alexander was one of the members of our committee when we were doing the Let's Share African American Arts Festival, and I'm sure that, you know, just being a part of that inspired her to do what she did. But then, you know, there were a lot of people, a lot of great legends out of Columbia that you know, people don't recognize and don't remember, like Drink Smalls you saw on the festival on the videotape. But then Tommy Scott Young, he was one of the great poets. So there were a lot of people that were involved, and we wanted to give them exposure, right. And we wanted to bring the community together.
Right. And then Awareness was there, showed up and did the interview.
JP Neal, yes.
Right. And how do you think, or what was your idea of Awareness at the time? Did you think it had an impact? Did you think that it was the right venue to show the Cultural Arts Festival on?
Of course it was. It was Awareness. We considered that our show, you know, right. It was our African American community show, and it brought a lot of exposure to a lot of different things in the community. And you know, we have to thank JP Neal for just being a big part of that.
Right. And so moving forward, do you plan to continue to stay connected in the arts? What are you doing now?
Well, I'm sort of semi-retired. I was coaching basketball and would still like to do some of that, but yes, I am planning on doing some art, but nothing I want to talk about right now.
Sure.
But I intend to. It's a big part of my life.
Right. As we saw from that great archive footage, how did it feel to see that?
That was pretty awesome. I was looking at that. It looked like my young son, you know, one of my sons, and you know, just to see those shirts brought back memory, because I remember everybody getting together at my house and we were like painting these different shirts, and everybody putting their own special talent to the t-shirt. Well,
Mr. English, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
When Awareness returns, we brought you a few of the former hosts last week. After the break, a few more familiar faces send their well wishes for Awareness.
Hi, I'm Brandy Cummings.
I am Stuart Moore.
Hello, WIS family. It's Michelle Miller.
Awareness. Happy anniversary. Craig Melvin here.
Awareness has had many hosts over its 45-year history. Most have moved on in their careers, but they have never forgotten the impact of Awareness, and we will never forget their contributions.
Hi, I'm Brandy Cummings. I hosted Awareness from October 2008 through September 2011. I am here at a television station in Portsmouth, Virginia, where I now work. I can tell you that Awareness, to me, is the pulse of the African American community in the Midlands. Having worked at several different TV stations in my career, I can tell you that a show like Awareness is a rare find. It's something that should definitely be celebrated. So congratulations on 45 years. And here's to another 45.
I am Stuart Moore. I hosted Awareness back in 2010, I believe. It's been so long, I can't remember the exact timing. But I did it for about 8 or 9 months, and it was one of the best experiences I've had in my television career because it was truly meaningful to the community. Every week we had the top political sayers in town on to talk about some huge issues, whether or not it was something that was going on in our community or something that affected our community from a world away. Happy birthday to Awareness and all the people that have made it such a great show. May it live on for even more years to come.
Hello, WIS family. It's Michelle Miller from 1993 and 94. WIS, wow, Awareness. I can't believe that you guys have reached this precipice. Congratulations. Greetings from Trinidad. I was just a substitute host, but they said that they wanted me to send greetings and congratulations, and I certainly am so happy to do that, especially from Trinidad and Tobago. I'm on vacation because it meant a lot to me when I had that opportunity. It was my very first opportunity anchoring. So continued success, continued joy, and keep making it. Keep doing it.
Awareness. Happy anniversary.
Craig Melvin here, and I hosted the Sunday morning program, oh gosh, I'd say from maybe 2003 until 2008, and it was a highlight every week, especially for me, being from Columbia and watching the show growing up. I remember seeing JP Neal. Back then, it was on Saturday evenings. I thoroughly enjoyed the fact that it was a program that delved very deeply into issues that affect people of color, but also issues that uniquely affected people who lived in South Carolina, in a community that does not always get a great deal of attention on television. I was honored to have been a part of it then. It's great to see that the tradition continues. I catch it when I'm home sometimes on Sunday. Megan, you're doing a great job with it. Keep it up. I hope the show continues to prosper and do well for another 100 years. So if you're ever in New York, by the way, swing by the studio here, stop by, say hello, would love to see you. But again, happy anniversary, Awareness.
We thank all of our former hosts for sending in those video messages. Stay with us. We'll be right back with a final thought. There are so many former hosts and influential guests. We certainly have not touched on everyone who made an impact. But during this 45th anniversary year, we will periodically revisit some of this incredibly rich history. It's important to maintain the legacy while embracing change and keeping awareness on the forefront while we tackle topics that affect all of us. I'd like to thank all of our guests near and far this morning for sharing in this very special show. Until next time, I'm Megan Norman. This is Awareness.